People think that entrepreneurship is all about the business.
That's not true. Absolutely not true. Once you know yourself, who you are, what do you want, what you already know within yourself, you will definitely be successful. That I guarantee you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Personal Development for Entrepreneurs. I'm Ikram with my good friend and mentor, Dr. Venga. In today's episode, which is an interesting episode as always, for me especially, we're going to talk about how to overcome the fear of failure. And this is a subject which everybody deals with. We're all scared to make decisions, or sometimes we procrastinate on a lot of important decisions. And the reason behind it, I mean, there could be various reasons, but most of the time, the reason behind it is the fear of failure. It's us having this fear. I think, Venga, you have a very nice definition of fear. I'll let you talk about that later. But it's this fear which oftentimes is imaginary, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and that prevents us from actually living up to our true potential.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, right. Ikram, you have described it in a few words exactly what that is. Actually, fear, we create the fear. Let me give you some example. I even now I deal with university students and all that I do. I ask them one question after they finish the exam over a period of maybe 2-3 weeks, and I ask them one question: how do you think how did you do the exam? Oh, I did. No, the results are not out. I said, you don't tell me you do not know your result. You know what you did in the exam. By now, you should know whether you have done very well or medium well or poorly. You should know that. You sat for the exam. So either you know or you don't know. Which one is it? No, I did fairly well. Okay, that's it. So we create this fear within ourselves. And we do that without realizing that, we have this reptilian brain inside us, or what some people call it the lizard brain, or some people call it the crocodile brain, whatever that is. Okay? We have this reptilian, all humans have them. And their purpose of that is because we have evolved from an animal to here, this way. Usually, this reptilian part of us is always the one that comes out and protects you from doing things that might be harmful to you, or things that you have to look for safety. No. This is a highway, 7-lane highway, both way 14 lane. No. I am a great guy. I'm a good runner. I'll run across. The reptilian brain tell you, no, you can't. You see. So we need to do one very important thing, Ikram, and that is to redefine the way we use the word fear. For me, it's like that. There is no such thing as failure.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is a lesson. You learn how not to do it. The question is, are you learning, or are you so dumb you are doing the same mistake over and over again? In that case, no hope for you, no? So first you must define fear. If you think it is fearful, you will be fearful. So it goes back to your own belief system. What do you believe in yourself? Let me give you a very quick example, okay? When people told Thomas Edison, a newspaper interview was published, okay? It says like this. He was asked a question. He said, Mr. Edison, you failed 1,000 times to find the right material for the I mean, you failed 1,000 times. He said, no, you're wrong. And he took out a book. He said, in this book, I've written down the 1,000 that you talked about. I've learned not to use this metal. That's how I found the 1,001. If I didn't write it down, I wouldn't have found this new material. I may be testing the same material that I've done over and over again. And because I've written it down, I will take a new sample of a metal and check to see whether I've tested or not. He said, I didn't fail. I learned how not to do it 1,000 times, he said. The word L-E-A-R-N, learn. We must learn from our failure. So there's no such thing as failure. It's a question of whether or not you have learned from it. So there's no failure. There's always learning.
Yes.
You know. So if you take the word fear, F-E-A-R, fear, that's false evidence appearing real. So you got to redefine it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people, oh, I had a bad day. No, you don't have a bad day. You had a very good day. Very good. You learn how not to be like that. So in every conversation, there's always, it's not because, oh, Venga, you are very positive. No, nothing to do with being positive. No? Yes, simple mathematical. Because you have a reptilian brain, you got to check yourself, because that fellow only know one thing, how to protect you. You get emotional, it'll protect you. You get exhilarated, it also protect you. You want to do something, it'll try to protect you. This is part of you.
Yeah.
Unless you redefine that.
I like what you're saying about redefining. Interestingly, I was having a conversation with a cousin, one of my younger cousins, 2 weeks ago. And this guy is a great salesman, really good at hustling and selling. So I told him, you're really good at this, Afiq. How did you develop these skills? He said, oh, I had a great teacher, my dad. And I was like, but your dad is nowhere close to, he's not a hustler like you. He said, that is why I learned from him all the things not to do. And that's why now I'm good in sales.
Very good, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. He learned what the dad should not do.
Correct.
Great.
And in his mind, and he's redefined it as I had a great teacher. Instead of saying my dad is the cause for me not being a failure, or anything.
Excellent. In my case, Ikram, everything that I learned is by myself. Nobody taught me. It's a great thing to see that everybody has been to school. I have not. And yet I've learned myself. Is my learning better than them? Of course. Why? Because it taught me how to find another way. Nobody can tell me this is the way to do it. Nobody did because they got no time for me. I have to find it my way. So to say that I've never had a failure in my life is not. I have had disappointment, but I learned from it. Never to make the same mistake again. So definition is important. For that, you must have a good belief system. Yourself. You must believe in yourself. Okay. I tell people, hey, life is a gift, Lana. You have a gift, I have a gift. When you say life, the whole world is life. The plant is a life word. It's everywhere. But
right.
you, I say you and me, we are gifted to have this human life. Now, because you have this human life, you must know how to handle it. So So whenever you think of something, what's your belief system? Do you believe in what you hear? Do you believe what you read is correct? What do you believe in what you are thinking? If you believe in yourself, you will do well.
Correct.
That means you must have a positive view about what you're going to do. Then you will succeed. Of course, along the way, you will learn how not to do it. So belief, fear, all come together. But at the same time, you need this fear thing inside us, called the reptilian part of our brain, or the lizard brain, they call it, is a protective mechanism preventing us from doing something stupid. Like, as an example, you go to the tallest building and you say, now I want to jump down without a parachute because I believe I will land safely. Good luck to you, Lord. Isn't it? You'll be smashed to the ground, right? So that's stupidity. Now, all this, by the way, Ikram, what we were talking about, has already been dealt with by a book which I've read a long time ago called Man's Search for Meaning, by an author called Viktor Frankl. I believe that book nowadays is, you can download it for free. I'm sure you could. He's the first one. He spent his life in the Nazis concentration camp, and he went through torture after torture after. He was already at that time termed as a psychiatrist. They did not have a neuroscientist or neuropsychologist. They didn't have that kind of name. They have a psychiatrist. He actually defined the system of how to get out of the fear. When he was being tortured and went through no food and seeing people being hanged and shot and all the things that went through during this period, he always sat down, closed his eyes, and began to visualize that he was in a very warm lecture hall, giving a lecture on the psychology of the concentration camp. And there were many professors sitting down, clapping and asking questions. He imagined that. By that way, he took his entire pain out of it. And he survived the Holocaust, came out and wrote this book called Man's Search for Meaning. You can download it and read it, no? So I'm not talking strange thing. First of all, there is always things happening.
Right.
You can be either bullish about it or take it rationally. I also say to people, there are a couple of things. First, I have a formula. Ikram, I talk about right goal review. Correct?
Correct.
I give you something. Whenever you think that you're doing something and you feel you have failed, sit down, write down. What did I learn from it? This is discipline, no? Write down. What did I learn from it? Is there another way to do it? How can I do it the next time? Learn, write. When you write down, you will learn. First thing. Correct or not?
Correct.
Huh?
Absolutely.
So that's the first. Second thing, and importantly, so that next time you want to do it, you set up a goal. Hey, this is what I want to do. This is how you have a goal. Or at least process. What is the process that should be done? How to do it? Okay? And the third one, review. If you review what you have done, will you learn or not?
You will.
Right? Process, goal, review. 3 things. Is it difficult to do?
No.
So when we say, oh, I have failed. No, you're not. No, you have not failed. You have learned. Students going to exam, they say, well, I failed the exam. You wanted to fail. That's why you didn't do the homework or didn't do the study, didn't spend time looking through this. You just came to exam from what you heard. You thought you go there, you turn on your mind, the printer will print it out and give the examination paper. Keep dreaming. What can you? Nothing, right? So the key is to find out. And then also I have this few things that I believe people should try to learn from that, Ikram. We always have challenges, especially what we've seen from this pandemic we have just been through. The pandemic we have been through, we have seen many changes. Yes or not, Ikram?
Yes, absolutely.
And things are not the same, right?
Nope, they're not.
They're different, right?
Right.
So you yourself must look at what you are able to, what you need to learn, and then how to make it even better. Correct or not?
Correct.
Okay, so therefore, there are steps. First of all, I say, you must accept that failure is normal. Failure is normal. Very important. It's not failure. You are learning how to do it better, like learning from a computer, like learning everything you learn. So accept that failure is normal. Okay. Second, important, always try to look at it from the beginning as an adapter. Hey, how do I do this? Adopt something. How do I do it? From the beginning, make your mind come down to, hey, how do I do it? Don't tell yourself, I know. Whenever you hear somebody say, I know, that fellow will not learn. Always say, I don't know. That's what yoga teaches you from day one. Say you do not know, then you learn. If you say you know, you'll not learn. So accept, become a beginner. Third thing, very important, talk to somebody you trust. Now talk. Hey, I did this, I did it wrong. Have you ever got experience? Ask a few of your close friends. So talk to someone who understands. Well, don't talk to people who have great, I know it all. No, they don't give you, they give you concept, they give you theory, they have no experience. Full stop, period. Okay? Give yourself some option. Okay? Why? In everything that you do, you have an option. Correct or not?
Correct.
So when you have an option, what are you doing? You're looking at possibility, right?
Correct.
Okay. The fifth thing, everything that you do has a cost. Either time, money, material, or something. There is a cost element, isn't it?
Yep.
Always. So observe that. Are you spending too little time thinking about it? Have you done enough research? Have you read about it? Have you tried it? What? Always remember there is a cost. The sixth thing, okay? Always adjust it. Along the way, make adjustment. Don't be stubborn. No, this is the way I'm going to do it. Always along the way, make the changes. Okay? And finally, you are so afraid you won't do it. No? So stay at home. You become so afraid, you dare not walk out of the house because a car might hit you. Good luck to you. But to me, even though you are afraid, do it. Then you learn. Although you're afraid, never mind, go out. If it rain, never mind, no? I'll get wet. No? So be afraid, but do it anyway. So I have one rule in my life. No? If I don't know, I learn. If I don't know, I do. Because to me, theory is one thing. This is what you can read about it. Some people have written about it in formula and all that. I will always take a theory and convert it immediately to a concept which I understand. From my level, I can understand. From that conceptual level, I will do it. To experiment it myself to find out, hey, how I do it. And then that is my experience already. And I'll never consider this failure. I'll make it better and better and better. Look at me, I'm 84 years old. From the time of the pandemic till now, I have perfected the way from mere managing time to managing mind, managing people's thought, and managing your life. Whole lot of things I put together and said, hey, it's no more managing time, it's managing your life. No? If you can't manage your life, don't manage time. No? Correct or not?
Yeah. Yes.
So,
I think in our first meeting in 2017, you told me that time and life are intertwined. It comes to you when you're born, and it leaves you upon death.
that's true, isn't it, right, Krama?
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
But is life complicated? No, it's not complicated. You make it complicated. No? It can be as simple as that. But in my way, I use a simple word like KISS. No? Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. So because when you talk about this big conceptual thing and you are beyond anybody. Make it simple. See what you can understand. The simpler it is, the more difficult it is, because you have to spend time thinking through it over and over and over again. That's why the writing part of it is the key. And whenever people, no, Venga, I got this new gadget, I can key it in, it is in this, and you go and key it in. Go, carry on. But to me, not because I'm 84 years old, but because I see clarity in whatever I do. The more I write, the more clearer it becomes. Vikram, you have seen that experience yourself, right?
Yes. In fact, for our audience, you can actually identify your fears through the process of writing. So when you're doing something, just a simple, you're going to embark on a new project. You can ask yourself, what are my fears about this? And then what I liked about this method that Venga taught me when in my early days of journaling is ask why 3 times at least. So, what are my fears about this? And then as you jot them down, you say, why do I have this fear? Then you get an answer. Maybe it's because you're worried about the result, or maybe you're worried you can't do it. And then you ask again, why? Why am I afraid that I can't do it? And then you ask why again. And usually it leads you to the root causes, which you can then address instead of just having band-aid solutions.
That's correct. Absolutely. One thing I I use it usually when I'm not certain about something. No, I take that fear and I tell you this, okay? I will toss around my head, really dance with fear until the fear itself becomes easy to understand. You understand? This is difficult. I will do it once and I'll think about it. I'm walking, I'm thinking about it, I'm dancing around with it. I try to find many ways, and suddenly, wow, the answer comes. So I compiled 3 words lah, no? Thought, feeling, action.
Thought, feeling, action.
Feeling, action. I put the thought, I examine my feeling. What do I do? Okay. So when I do that, Ikram, my fear takes the back seat. So thought, feeling, action. So my actions are small. Small action. You know lah, Ikram, when I started with you, I don't even know what is Facebook lah. Huh? Correct or not?
Yep.
You taught me Facebook lah, no? But look at what this Facebook has become lah, no? To the extent now, if you every day, Celine is putting out something on it with pictures and all that. Every day, one day at a time, is being converted into something that people can see it, and you know, the more they, every day she gives. She just take the book, copy it, but she puts some diagram, put some little bit of cartoon there and all that. It makes it alive.
Correct.
Right.
Absolutely.
All I get to tell her, what, hey, help me lah. So nowadays, she spend, I think, at least every day 2-3 hours doing this. But I see reaction from people. And it helps them to understand themselves.
Yeah.
So it's possible, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Now, in the same like manner, I told her only yesterday, I told, hey, Selena, we did this YouTube thing that's also in the YouTube, you know that, okay? Is it possible that we can also upload all these videos into our website, no? As an example. She say, yeah, let me try to understand it, okay? So I say, yeah, take your time, take your time. Don't push it. Take your time, you do it, okay? So it's possible.
Correct.
And she is not someone who would like to try something new. She's very rigid. But today, she's very fluid. Celine. And she's been with me for 29 years, My PA,
Yes, she's probably watching
years,
this as well now.
Sorry?
She's probably watching this right now as well.
I hope. Yes, I'm sure she will. So you see now, she has turned out to be an amazing person. But step by step. So remember this very simple thing. Fear, we must always use it and joke. Joke with it. The more you joke with it, the more your emotions comes up, So that's your feeling.
Right.
And you cannot stop there. You have to take an action. You try that with your daughter today, Ikram. Thought, feeling,
action.
Check with her, action.
Okay.
TFA. Thought, feeling, action. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Because uncertainty is always there. Yes or not, Ikram?
Yes, absolutely.
It is there. So what is one thing that is required? And that is pay attention, right or not? Pay attention means, hey, understand it. Don't just sit there, fold your hand, and think that the whole thing is videotaped into your mind. This is not a bloody recorder. So you got to write down what you're seeing, what is uncertainty, write down. So when you do that, automatically you yourself will understand. That means you yourself are raising your own consciousness. And when you raise your consciousness, you will realize that you are not struggling. Your own intelligence also supports you to let you know what you're doing. So The answer is not out there, like it's inside you. It is inside you. Everything that you think you do not know, is inside you. And it is your data, you know. You have picked it up from the time you were born till now.
Correct.
So it's a question of using the data law.
Absolutely.
Correct enough.
We have another 5 minutes left. Perhaps we can just quickly recap again. So if I can just go through what you've discussed. The first thing you've covered is you've never looked at failure as failure. In fact, you always say, I've never failed in my life, because you've redefined failure into learning. So you've not failed, you've not discovered you're not good at something, but you've discovered how to be better at something, right? And you have an acronym for fear, which is false evidence appearing real. So fear, if you actually go and look deep into your fear, most often you'll find out that there's no evidence to back that fear. And then you have a 7-step approach, which you identified earlier. I didn't get to write all the 7 steps, but you said first is that fear is normal. You have to accept that fear is normal. What is the second? And
let me go back. Okay, the second one is always adopt a beginner's mind. I mean, I don't know. Where do I start? Like, but not telling yourself I know, because the brain is very peculiar. No, the moment you say I know, it'll shut down. But the moment you say I don't know, he said, no, you know this one, you know that one. Say, no, I don't know that one. No, then it'll go deeper. It'll help you. It'll create the path for you. Because why? Inside your body, a lot of information has been stored by you. So when you have a beginner's mind, is, hey, I don't know. La. What do you mean you do not know? Of course you know. Maybe not 100, but you know 1 or 2 lah. That's the second most important thing. Always adopt a beginner's mind, I call it lah. In other words, never say you know lah. Say you do not know.
Correct.
The third one, you is talk to someone lah. Somebody can always help you. But don't go to people who guess back lah, no? There are a lot of conceptual artists, isn't it? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Correct, yeah.
They seem to be intelligent, appears intelligent, but actually it's air, no? So talk to people who genuinely can help you, no? Is that difficult?
No.
So talk to someone you trust, no? That's a third thing you need to do. The fourth thing is give yourself more option in whatever you do, la. If this doesn't work, it's another way. I mean, give yourself option. At least 2 options, la. Either I do this or do that, la. Some option you must have, la, no?
Right.
Don't put all your egg in one basket, they say, la, huh? Just put some option. No? The other thing, the 5th thing, if I remember correctly, is everything has a cost, la. Either money is involved in it, time is involved in it, or materials involved in it. Remember, there's a cost for this, okay?
Right.
So then, as you go along, you understand this cost. So if you take 10 hours to do something, could you do it in 9 hours? Or 6 hours? Or, you know, you can reduce your time. Cost relative in the care. Remember, the 6th thing is, don't make a decision, say, this is the decision and that's it. Cannot like that. You must always look at it, can I change it? Can I make a change? You're not fickle-minded, but you are improving it, Lana. Constantly. The Japanese have a word called kaizen. Nothing is 100. You always have to improve it. In the English language, continuous improvement. Continuously must improve.
Improvement, yeah.
Okay. That's it. And finally, as I said, if you are afraid of doing anything, just do it, Lana.
Do it in spite of fear.
Do it, Lana.
Yeah.
Unless you do it, you will not get the experience, Lana. By that, I don't mean the fan is running, I put my finger there, Lana. That's not what I mean. Huh? You understand?
Yeah.
Take a revolver, put one bullet inside, and do a
Russian
roulette, Lana. Please don't.
Yeah. I think it's important that we stress here, fear is actually good. In many cases, it is helpful, right? I think we've evolved with fear in us, which means it plays an important role. So, not going, for example, putting your hand into a lion's mouth, right? That fear keeps you from making stupid decisions. But then we also have to apply intelligence to the fear. There's some fear, like what you said, false evidence appearing real. We need to keep asking ourselves, is this real or is it not? Is it our imagination or is it not?
That's right. Yeah.
And finally, I think what you mentioned that right goal review is central to overcoming your fear of failure. And I can vouch for that. It's something I practice. The act of writing and asking yourself, why? What are my fears? Why and why and why? And how do I overcome them? It helps. It helps a lot. And then, of course, goals or purpose actually drive you to action. And then the review helps you learn and overcome your fears.
Absolutely. You summed it up well. Very good.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Venga. Sorry, you have something to say.
Yeah. One last thing. Yeah. In the yogic way of looking at things, we have bhukti. Our mind has bhukti.
Evidence.
And our mind has chitta, which is intelligence. But they are separated from one and the other. You see, our bhukti, which is the intellect, is always there, present. It's like a knife, It's like a knife. And you are down holding the knife. And you're cutting and cutting and cutting, examining. You see, the intellect works with one thing. All the data you have from your memory, it dissects and dissects and dissects and keeps on dissecting. Whereas intelligent, which is chitta, that is a silo detached from memory. So this method of writing, of process goal and review, takes you from the intellect to your intelligence, which is chitta.
Right.
So fear is sometimes in the intellect. Oh, you have done this before, that happened, this happened. Now, until you can control this, intelligence will not come up.
Absolutely.
I hope that's why when people appear fearful, people are only, they're using the intellect. Because that's a job of the intellect to dissect. Survival skill is part of the reptilian brain.
Correct.
The intelligence is human, because let me just share this with you. I mean, your heart, do you give instruction to your heart?
No.
Does the heart know how to repair itself? Of course it does. The kidney, the liver, your intestines, your whole body system is being repaired and done. Do you do anything about it? Your intelligence is doing it, Lord. So the question is, can you also tap into the intelligence and take a few from there also? Like, can or not? That's all.
Correct. Absolutely.
So breathe properly.
All right. Thank you very much, Venga, for that this insightful sharing session. That concludes our episode for tonight. If you have any questions at all, please type them on the comment section below. Venga or I will attend to those questions as soon as we can. Or you can, even if it's personal in nature, you can direct message us via Facebook. Have a great night, have a great week until we meet again, which is the first Wednesday of December. That's the 6th of December at 8 p.m. Here's me and Venga saying goodbye.
Good night.